While it is very quickly heating up here in North Texas, it is not too late to still plant out your summer vegetable garden, or if you want to incorporate more crops into your vegetable garden, and even cut flowers. It is not too late, and I'm going to tell you today a few vegetables and cut flowers that you can grow in June. So some of these crops you can direct seed, while others it might be best to start from transplant. So let's deep dive into the vegetable garden first and see what we can still grow in June. So first vegetable crop I'm going to talk about is tomato. I do recommend probably buying a started plant at this point because we are in June. Like today's high is 93 and I'm feeling it because I always do my videos in the afternoon. But a started plant would be best because it does take some time to start them from seed, like a pepper plant. We'll get to that in a minute. Also, because they're not a huge fan of like triple digits, like in the hundreds, if you can get afternoon shade, like as long as I get 6 to 8 hours of sun, so like morning or mid morning sun, I would try and get them in the shade. Mine I have in the garden, and you'll see some point during this video, they're under shade cloth. Because once temperatures get too high, the blossoms will actually start dropping from the plant. So now we are under the shade cloth. It does feel a little bit better. At some point I do want to do like a temperature gauge and just see like what the, I guess, ground level temperature is under the shade cloth versus outside the shade cloth. Because it does sometimes feel about a 10-degree difference inside the shade cloth. But the next vegetable crop that I'm going to recommend you starting direct seed in the ground right now is your squashes. So if you are a zucchini lover, go for a zucchini. If you like that yellow summer squash, get that yellow summer squash in the ground. But it is not too late, and in fact, it's perfect time to get the zucchini in the ground. I was looking. My one plant over there, holy squash bugs. There are a lot this year. I was just trying to take a look at this one while we were outside. I see a baby zucchini on it, but I did just harvest. I think it was 2 days ago. I got two zucchinis off of it. Yeah, if you are a zucchini squash lover, perfect time to direct sow them in the ground. Oh, tip, a little tip. Water your seeds in good. Also, today's 93 in North Texas. I recommend planting out, I mean, they won't have germinated yet, but I would do it late in the evening still, especially if you're like your tomatoes. If you're transplanting, meaning you have little starts that you were putting in the ground, definitely do that in the late evening so they kind of have all night to just kind of, they just don't get the beat down from the sun. They can just let their roots sink in, water them in good, and it just helps them to get more established and to be more successful. I see a squash bug. So in this jungle of weeds, there are probably like 6 different pepper varieties right here. Jalapenos, poblanos. I have 2 different types of bell peppers, snacking peppers, shishito peppers, maybe a banana pepper, not sure. Definitely pepper plants good to go. Same thing, tomato, probably getting them in the ground in the evening will be best to let their roots just have a little bit more time to get established and they just don't get cooked and beat down by the sun. But it is still okay for you to plant pepper plants. I'm going to say go for cucumber as well. Cucumbers you're going to have to direct seed. I'm posting this today, so today's Sunday, but there's a percentage of rain all next week in North Texas. So if you're thinking about planting additional vegetables, go for it. Do it now because more than likely it's going to be overcast. I think we're in the high 80s next week, and then there's chances of rain. So that's just great to help sink your seeds in the ground and get them to germinate for you. Now, in my raised bed garden, I do have some specialty zinnias from florets in here. These just get a little bit more love, a little bit more babied because they are florets. A lot of them are in bud form here. One is producing its first flower. Super cute. But zinnias, cut flower, go ahead and get these direct seeded in the ground. You can kind of see how there is already a shadow. So these, it's probably like a little bit after 12 now. So these get sun from like sunrise. I mean, definitely 6 hours, and now they're going to start getting shaded out a little bit. I do find that still gives you, makes for a healthier plant, larger blooms. It's just not a constant beat down in the late afternoon. You know, that 2 to 4 o'clock sun is just pretty tough on our plants. And then this is all volunteered celosia because this is where I planted celosia. I'm probably going to have to come through and definitely thin it out, but I'm thinking I'll let some of it grow. Maybe. Might regret that, but I have a hard time pulling it out because it was floret celosia as well, dusty rose. This was a volunteered Bells of Ireland. That's pretty cool. What I just found on my, see if I can get it to focus. Maybe, I don't know. It's probably not focusing. It's too busy. On my tomato plant, I was walking out and I saw this guy. Unfortunately, he is not wanted on my tomato plants. So over here is my cut flower row. I do have a couple others, but this has quite a bit of variety in it. In June, we talked about zinnias. I grew status last year for the first time, and I had blooms the entire year. Status, it just kept pumping out the stems for me. So I'm going to say go for status, go for zinnias. Gomphrena. Gomphrena did great in the heat for me as well. I think that's all over here on this row, so let's take a look. Some of the status, though, I do need to snip. Some of it is, it's been on here too long. I didn't do a good job. I wasted some of them. I should have cut them back a little bit sooner, but some of this is a very pretty peachy color right here. Let's take a look. So this is the Ballerina Zinnia series from Johnny Seeds. Very pretty. As well in the back, that's that Shimmer Celosia, which is Celosia. Go for it. You can plant it in June as well. These are heat-loving, drought-tolerant cut flowers. And then here's some Gomphrena that I have from Johnny Seeds as well. I bought the mix. So this is actually a good example. You see the purple, like this. And then there's a white that was in the mix. Oh, there's actually 2 more options. This was kind of like more of a lavendery purple, and then the white. So pumpkins, pumpkins, pumpkins. Pumpkins is a type of squash. So if you have not done so already, see what that is. Now is a great time to get your pumpkin seeds in the ground. Again, I recommend doing it in the evening and then watering them in because it is a big seed really, really well. Again, North Texas friends, since we possibly have rain every day next week, now is a great time to get those pumpkin seeds, if you have not done so already, in the ground. Just looking. Also over here is some okra. Okra does just fine in the heat as well. So if you need to get some okra seeds in, great time to direct seed your okra seeds in the ground as well. There's cucumbers over here. Again, that one, I'm kind of on the fence of that. Part of me is just like, go for it. If you have the seeds, go ahead and try it. If you don't have the seeds, it might be a little bit of a gamble, a little bit of a risk there because they don't really, really like the heat a whole lot. Like when it gets triple digits, they're going to start piddling out anyways. But for me, I don't know if you see these T-posts right here. Not next week because we're going to have rain and it's going to be in the high 80s. But once we get past 95, I start seeing that more consistent. Shade cloth is going up over here. That's why all these T-posts are out. So I can cover up. What I'm really trying to cover up is my pumpkins. So I can sell some pumpkins in the fall. I have like specialty pumpkins, Long Island cheese. I do have a Big Max. I have Lumina, which is a white pumpkin. I have the blue pumpkin. It's like Jardy, something like that. black pumpkin, which I'm very curious about. I want to know if it's actually going to be a black pumpkin. I think that's called Black Cat. I got the seeds from Botanical Interest, I think, there. And then I have the cute little just orange pumpkins, white pumpkins that are the small ones. A few good pie pumpkins. One of them is like a French name I got from Johnny Seeds that I'm super excited about. And then I have a sugar pie, which is going to be like a cute little orange pumpkin as well, but it's a good eating pumpkin. One more. I don't know, I'd have to look at all the tags, but there's 11 different pumpkin varieties. I have a short video on it that I did as well. But go get your pumpkin seeds in. This is a very small patch because I would lose seeds, or I still haven't found them yet. But this is Bleeding Love Amaranth. It's very pretty. I actually probably need to harvest it soon. Well, part of me wants, I'm going to do a bit of an experiment. I want to see how long they get, but then I probably need to harvest soon because I just do a lot of like mason jars, mixed market bouquets for folks. But super pretty. Amaranth definitely can get some of this in the ground. Strawflower, it does good in the heat as well. Some of these should probably start blooming soon. Not blooming yet. That's good to go. We talked about zinnias. Oh, basil. I love using basil as foliage in bouquets. So all this part's not very pretty, but that's all volunteered, meaning it just came up because this is where I planted basil last year. That's holy basil right there. But further down, cosmos. These are apricotas. Some of them need to be deadheaded at this point because they're old. Cosmos, heat loving, you can get them in the ground now. But basil, so this is a purple, nope, my shadow, purple opal basil. And then, goodness, little baby grasshoppers. This is a cinnamon basil. I love these two. That's why I try to fan out or fizzle out holy basil. It has great culinary and all that purposes. I mean, it is a great basil, but for a bouquet, I really like the cinnamon basil and the opal basil, and then I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like lemon basil as well, but it's too much basil, so I didn't do the lemon basil this year. But that's what these two are, and I really like using them in bouquets. I forgot to mention cantaloupes and watermelons. So this is one of my cantaloupe and watermelon patches that I have. Again, if you can give them some afternoon shade, they will definitely thrive better, but it's not too late to get your cantaloupe and your watermelon in the ground. This was Sugar Baby Watermelon, Crimson Sweet, and then I think it's just like a Hall's Best cantaloupe. If you have any questions for me, I'll do my best to answer it. If I don't know, I guess we will learn together. But these are the vegetables and cut flowers that I recommend you can still grow in June here in North Texas and a lot in the South, not just specifically North Texas, but Southeast United States. They should work out with you. Just make sure that you water them in really, really well. And if you are transplanting started plants, it's definitely best to do that in the late evening or a very cloudy day, very overcast day. Definitely not sunny and like 100 degrees. They won't do well. But if I can do it, so can you. Until next time. Bye, friends.